Good evening, Bahamas, on the broadcast tonight. Just how prepared is Bahamas Power and Light this hurricane season? Plus, the president of the Lead Institute robbed at gunpoint. And find out if Team Bahamas advances on to any finals in the relays of the IAAF World Track and Field Championships.
Our news is brought to you by Alive, the nation's newest and best LTE network.
Good to be alive.
Welcome to our news, the weekend edition, and thanks for joining us. I'm Andrew Knowles. As we enter the more active period of the Atlantic hurricane season, and with some still recovering from the devastation caused by Hurricane Matthew, many have questioned just how prepared are utilities companies like Bahamas Power and Light. Well, Bahamas Electrical Workers Union President Paul Maynard said Bahamians shouldn't be mistaken. The company was prepared for Hurricane Matthew and is prepared now.
Always have what you call a post-mortem of an event, right? Post-mortem dictates that had PR done the right PR, we wouldn't be in this position. See, one thing with Bahamians, you know, if you tell them they could be on as quick as soon, they're expecting to be on in a day or two, right? A storm of that magnitude. You see what happened in the States. What they tell you? Power could be off for what? 3 and 4 months. Yeah. Now, had PR not being so hasty and said, listen, it could take us a month to get this place together, all right? It would have happened. And Bahamians would have said, but you know, a month? Okay, fine. Ain't no point in us worrying with it. That's what they say, that's what can happen.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Matthew last October, some parts of New Providence were left without electricity for days, and some for weeks. Downed power lines and broken utility poles made the job for BPL employees that much more difficult, not to mention the loss of a jetty at BPL's Clifton Power Station.
My crew that I have behind me, my membership are professionals. We're professionals here. We do the job we get paid to do and do it efficiently at that. All right, so any storm we can tackle. The point is, we need to assess how long it takes us when it happens.
BPL is also going through a bit of difficulty in Bimini, Exuma, and Abaco. Maynard explained what's going on those islands and what needs to be done.
Exuma needs new engines, all right? You got sandals up there, you got major development and stuff up there. You need to fix that situation. Abaco, you have a problem with the protection system. If you hit a pole in Foxtown or you hit a pole in Sandy Point, trips the engine off. So you got a protection system problem that you need to deal with.
These problems could take years to fix for these islands.
Not really. You just gotta come to the reality of, well, this is the problem, I need to get it fixed.
In other news, 1 month after the Bahamas Lead Institute was robbed, the president of the rehabilitation facility wound up face-to-face with an armed robber, this time outside of his home. April Sands reports.
President of the Lead Institute, Troy Clark, lived out his worst nightmare Thursday night when he came face-to-face with a gunman outside his home. Clark says his entire life flashed before his eyes when an armed robber approached him around 1 p.m. The incident comes just 1 month after the Lead Institute was robbed.
I was approached by a young man, unbeknown to myself, who pulled out a revolver and demanded cash from me. Frantically, I told him I have no monies. And he then replied to me that he's not going to hurt me. Instead of me standing up there waiting on any other altercation, I put up my hand and I started running, looking behind. And that's when he decided to walk away. After that, I contacted the police. They responded within 2 to 5 minutes. I took it upon myself to jump into my vehicle, and I say, you know what, if the police don't find, I'm going to see which area this guy goes into. I think, number one, I think it was the purpose of God, first and foremost. Secondly, it was timely when the individual answered at 919 and held me on the line to get the right description of the individual, and also was the information that I would have given the police and their quick response, because they didn't come in a patrol car, they came in their civilian car, with 4 of them, and when they got there, you had other officers were there. And I think because of the purpose that I think I have in life, I think God had it in a way that, the police is going to come in a timely manner.
And that he did. Clark jumped into his car in hot pursuit of the robber. Fortunately, he says, within 30 minutes of the armed robbery, he saw officers arresting the man who had held him at gunpoint.
They responded within 5 minutes, and from that point, within 5 minutes, they responded to me, and I gave them all of the details, the location, and the clothing the individual was wearing. It was another 10 to 15 minutes when I came back through my corner. I noticed they had him in custody by the building next to us, and they asked me if this is the man, and I was able to identify the gentleman by voice and by the clothing that he was wearing.
Additionally, Clark says the robber wore no mask, making the police investigation easier.
Because as a criminal justice consultant and working in the criminal justice field for more than 20 years, it is my passion, it's my life work to help the offender population reintegrate back into the society as law-abiding citizens. So crime is a very vital thing. It's intricate. It's intricate and it's woven through the fabric of our society. And the reason why I came out is because if we don't get a grip and a handle on crime, our economy will continue to slumber and slump. Tourist arrival will decrease, and we would not have what we want, a more peaceful and safe Bahamas. And I believe our future is bright. And I'm looking forward to a more safer and peaceful Bahamas, but that can only happen through persons like myself, communities, and governmental, church, religious organizations who can actually collaborate in helping with the rehabilitation of offenders, preventative care for the at-risk, and just helping on a holistic basis, because we realize that our problem that we have in this country is multifaceted.
Reporting for our news, I'm April Sands.
Thanks, April. Meantime, police are on the hunt tonight for several men suspected of an armed robbery that's left a man in hospital. Police say a man was on Miami Street in his 2000 champagne-colored Honda Accord around 8:30 last night when he was attacked by a group of men. The victim was stabbed and robbed of his vehicle. He was taken to hospital where he remains in stable condition. Police are investigating. Well, we're less than 3 years away from the next general census. The census, which happens every 10 years, takes a look at the number of people in the country and gives a full breakdown of exactly who lives in the Bahamas.
The department conducts a survey, the census, which is 100% count, where we go to every single household in the Bahamas and every key. That we only do that every 10 years, and so the next one is planned for 2020.
The results of the last census in 2010 showed that there were 350,000 people living in the Bahamas. Some countries with a much larger population than the Bahamas conduct their general census a bit more frequently. Acting Director in the Department of Statistics, Leona Wilson, says doing it more frequently for the Bahamas is not possible, despite having a relatively small population.
It's impossible. The last time we conducted the census it's a very costly exercise, because you go into every single household
on every island,
on every island,
every key,
and so that's a mammoth task. And so the cost is, you cannot do it. Well, I guess some countries do it every 5 years, but we are not in a position to do it every 5 years, because it's. I think the last time we did it was $3 million. We don't have that.
And we will take a break here, but still ahead tonight, an update on new enhanced security measures at LPIA. That story and more when our news returns.